Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, guys, welcome to your another business English. And in today video, I will explain about copywriting, yeah, to promote your business. So this is the first meeting and the first discussion about copywriting, ya. Jadi nanti in the lesson I will try to mix, ya. Jadi jangan all about grammar. Yeah, you will get bored basically. So not all about grammar, but some we will learn about how to be a copywriter ourselves. Yeah. So here I will open the file or the slide. Okay, so here in the first page is a guide to copywriting to promote your business. Okay, so basically we are going to learn about what is copywriting, yeah, why is it so important in doing copywriting, and then the basic of copywriting, the important terminology. We have the target market, the USP, what is USP, we will explain about that later, and then the features, the benefits, the bullets or the points. Yeah, bullets is another understanding of points, yeah, that we call it bullets also. And then the headlines, the sublines, yeah. So this is the important thing about when you're making some product name, yeah. You make some product name, and then how to make it more interesting, how to make it people attracted to your product or to your your name, yeah. So basically a headline is very important in a product selling. And then sub headlines, yeah, this is where you put some information based on it, testimonial, and then we have call to action and offer. This is what we going to cover for the basic of copywriting. And then we have the tips for copywriting: a great copy, speak to your audience, avoid excessive adjectives or more adjective, yeah. Try to avoid as many as adjectives you can, yeah. Be specific, don't worry so much about grammar, yeah. Of course, that's why I give a little bit of selang-seling lah istilahnya. Okay, the best specific, and then keep it simple, keep layout simple, be succinct and edit, sense of urgency, get them to buy now, close the deal, and call to action. And then number 4, we have why a marketing mama needs a website for her copywriting plans, and the last one we have a closing. Okay, so here I think today we just going to cover these two, and then next one we're going to try to cover a couple of this, yeah. Okay, we're trying to basically cover this two if there's time, because 2.10 is too many. Okay. Okay, so we start with number 1. What is copywriting and why is it so important? So simply to put, yeah, copywriting is the writing you use in your written promotional material. This can include your advertising, website, brochure, catalogs, business cards, sales letters, and more, yeah. So here in this type of advertising, trying to make it simple as you can. For example, the website, make it interesting or simple. Brochure, basically brochure is trying to make it simple and eye-catching, yeah. And then we have here, of course, business card, yeah. Trying to make it as unique as possible for your business card, because people tend to see your business card first when you're trying to introduce yourself, yeah, or trying to, okay, I'm trying to move it here so you can see what is presented here. Okay, so including the business cards, sales letters, and many more. Okay, so in copywriting is what you use to get your customers and potential customers to take part, to take a particular action. Yeah. So here, um, so here we have your customer and potential customer to take particular action. Is, for example, call you for more information. So basically, if they want to call you, you have to have that specific thing, like your business card is more interesting, yeah, and your brochure, make sure that it's simple and easy to understand. Okay, and then call you for more information, and then place an order. Yeah, you have to make information and how the customer can place an order. So you have to put your name, oh sorry, your phone number, maybe your company number, or even maybe your secretary or your helper number, yeah, to make it more clear. And then sign up for your mailing list. This one is also for information about your website, your email, yeah. And then get them to refer a friend to your business. And then this is when they see your brochure, and then when they see how good is your product, how good you presented your product, they will basically tell others. Yeah. So this is the concept of mouth-to-mouth distribution. Yeah. So in Indonesia, it's basically they use this type of thing. Yeah. The mouth-to-mouth distribution is very efficient way. So many business owners make the mistake of thinking they can just throw their copywriting together. Really? Yeah, I congratulate you for taking the time to read this guide, because the information in it will put you ahead of many other small business owners to make this mistake. Yeah, business owner who make this mistake. So basically, ya kalau kita membuat copywriting, ya jangan menumpuk semuanya jadi satu, ya. So ada apa iklan terus apa-apa terus jadi satu gitu, jangan. So basically we take, I think there's a couple of ways that some part is your information, and some part is how to connect you, and some part is how to see your email or your website. Yeah. So here, consider this: when someone visit your website or read your brochure, you aren't there. Nah, bayangkan dalam kondisi seperti ini, saat seseorang melihat website teman-teman sudah membuat website dan sudah membuat brosur suatu produk misalnya, dan kita tidak ada di situ untuk menjelaskan, ya, to answer the question or to convince them how great your product is. Your words need to do that for you. In other words, you need effective copywriting. This guide is going to show you how to do that. Ya, jadi pada kesempatan ini, ya, I will, or in this explanation, ya, we try to show you how to do a great of making people convinced by copywriting. Yeah. So basically, copywriting means your word speak for you. Yeah. Your words speak for you. Jadi saat kita menulis, kata-kata yang kita tulis itu mempresentasikan kita, mewakilkan kita, ya, baik produk kita atau personality kita, ya. So this is what copywriting is. So the basic of copywriting, important terminology, ya. Jadi pertama kita harus tahu terminologinya dulu. So in this chapter, I will go over some terminology that will help you in understanding the principle of copywriting. Okay, so read each one detail as I've got only include the definition of each words. So, but I've also added. Okay, so here I also added some, for example, examples and further detail for deeper understanding of these important concept. Exercise to apply this concept, ya, nanti ada exercise-nya. And then this information will serve as your foundation of knowledge in all the copywriting you do for your business. Ya, jadi semua nanti informasi yang ada di slide ini akan menjadi foundation atau dasar. Jadi kalau kita lupa, kemarin apa sih yang harus diterapkan pertama kali itu apa? Nah, kalau teman-teman nanti lupa bisa kembali ke slide yang ini ya. So here we have the first one is we have to know our target market ya. Pertama kita harus tahu market target kita siapa. Your target market is the group of people you're selling your product to. You have to be very specific when you define your target market. In order to make your copywriting most effective, you can just say women, moms, or pet owners because that is still vogue ya. Jadi kalau kita ingin mengutarakan ya our consumer ya atau our konsumen ya. Contohnya emang kalau dalam kalangan target market kita adalah wanita ya. You can't just say mom or woman ya or even pet owners ya. Jadi kita nggak boleh menyebutkan wanita atau ibu-ibu ya, atau pencinta hewan. Jangan. Itu kata-kata seperti itu masih vulgar ya, vogue ya, atau masih samar-samar lah istilahnya. Vogue samar-samar ya. So here we have that woman, which moms and which pet owners. Ya, jadi kita spesifikkan lagi. Kalau emang untuk wanita, what kind of woman? Woman seperti apa? Apakah house mom, apa career mom, apa maybe a business woman, ya, or maybe someone who is a woman who have hobbies, ya. Lots of things that we have to need to narrow it down. Kita mempersempit tujuan kita. And then which moms ya, ibu-ibu yang mana? There are lots of type of moms ya. And then which pet owners? Okay, with pet owners pemilik hewan apa? Pemelihara, yang melihara hewan apa? Ya, which pet owners? And when defining your target market, there are many things to consider. We have made a small list below, but it is only touches the surface. For each target market, there are so many different factors that can make up your specific target market. Ya, jadi ada specific target market. Ya, we have age, incomes, interests. Ya, we have if it's a mom, her material status can maybe come into play ya. Jadi kalau kita ingin mendefinisikan target market kita, ada beberapa hal yang harus kita consider atau harus kita pertimbangkan ya. We've made a small list below. Ini ada small list below, but only touches the surface ya. Each target market there are so many different factor that can make up your specific target market. Nah, ini sebagai contohnya ya. Kalau kita ingin memspesifikkan suatu consumer atau konsumen, kita pikirkan apakah age and then income ya. Ini secara garis besarnya aja ya, just garis besarnya atau permukaannya aja. We have interest, we have is a woman, her marital status may come into play ya. Kalau wanita mungkin udah married atau belum married atau maybe divorce ya, atau maybe single mom ya, I don't know. And then if it's a mom, you might want to have an idea about the age of her children. Nah, kalau kita ingin menuju ke konsumen kita seorang ibu, mungkin yang lebih baik kita lebih mementingkan apakah ibu itu punya anak. Nah, anaknya itu sekitar apa? Misalnya toddler, ya, kids, teenager, ya. If she works outside the home, apakah dia pergi kerja di luar rumah ya atau dalam rumah atau maybe online businesswoman maybe, yeah. If it's a pet owner, what kind of pet she has, what breed. Ya, kalau dia memang pencinta hewan peliharaan, ya, apa hewan peliharaannya yang dia punya apa, ya, dan apa jenisnya apa, what breed, ya, jenis hewan peliharaannya itu apa, ya. And then wants and wishes and desire, ya, keinginan, ya, wants dan apa, keinginan dan apa ya, wishes, doa, bukan doa sih, harapan, ya, want, wishes, harapan, dan keinginan, ya, desire. And then problems she needs to solve, dan masalah-masalah yang perlu dia atasi. Okay. And then these last two part are particularly important because this is what really motivates people to spend their money and buy products. Yes, they buy to satisfy their immediate needs, but desire is what drives people to spend their money readily. Oke. Jadi intinya, ya, kalau kita ingin menjual suatu produk kita, ya, pasti kita harus pikirkan apa sih kebutuhan mereka, apa sih keinginannya, apa sih desire-nya, ya, and then the problem she needs solved, ya. Kalau mereka beli produk kita, apakah masalahnya bisa teratasi, ya. Itu bisa kita utarakan dengan yang tadi yang di atas itu tadi, ya, basic points, ya. Oke, next one. Jadi pada intinya kalau kita pentingkan dua hal ini, ya, these 2 points here, ya, they will spend their money readily. Mereka pasti akan belanja walaupun nggak butuh, pasti akan dibeli, ya. And then we have here the following are important human motivators that have been identified by psychologists. They will help you in understanding what motivates your readers to take action. Ya, jadi di sini ada beberapa motivator, ya, yang sudah diketahui secara psikologis, ya, akan membantu kita untuk mengerti apa sih motivates ya pembeli untuk beli, ya, atau take action, ya. So first we have to understand the fear, ya, and then the exclusivity, and then the guilt, the greed, need for approval, convenience, and pleasure, ya. So some people might see it as unethical to play too hard on the emotion of their potential customer. But you can use this information to really understand what motivates your target market, ya. Jadi kalau mereka menanyakan sesuatu ke kita, ya, pastikan kita menanyakan apa sih ketakutannya, apa ketakutan membeli produk ini, kenapa kok nggak beli, ya. And the exclusivity, kita jelaskan eksklusif barang kita tuh apa, ya, kelebihannya itu apa, dan kita jelaskan atau kita tanya mereka kalau beli ini apa merasa bersalah atau merasa gimana, ya. And then of course the greed, ya, itu it's everybody potential, ya. Greed is everybody potential here. Okay, and then we have need for approval, ya. Of course our product is need to approval, ya, needs if it's halal, ya, or if it's SNE, whatever, we need that evidence, ya, kita butuh buktinya. And then convenience, ya, kenyamanan, ya, convenience, kenyamanan, and pleasure, ya, kesenangan juga, ya. Jadi ini adalah hal-hal yang harus kita perhatikan dalam menjual atau customer yang menanyakan ke kita, ya, gitu yang harus kita perhatikan hati-hati. Okay, next one. Some people might see it as unsuccessful play to, okay, and then the reinformation is motivate your target market. Okay, The more you understand your target market, the easier it will be to sell to them. You will understand their point of view, the problem they have, and how much they like solution. Nah, jadi saat mereka menanyakan pertanyaan ke kita untuk apa ya, referensi, referensi untuk membeli, ya pasti mereka akan menghubungi uh, ya pihak yang bisa dihubungi atau us, ya as a seller. Dan hal-hal yang harus kita perhatikan yaitu ini tadi, ya ini yang harus kita perhatikan. Oke, so all this yang harus kita perhatikan ini adalah fear, exclusivity, guilt, greed, need for approval, convenience, and pleasure. Yeah. Okay, and then next one we have the problem with being too vogue. So I've seen a number of business owners who try to vogue everything to everyone approach, and it is really tough to make that work as a small business owner. Okay, these people may sell candles online or cosmetic or a similar product, and the business owner will say the target market is simply women. The problem is, if you sell those things, not all women are your target, as I've already said. Okay. Jadi saat kita menjual, kita lihat target ini kita siapa ya. So basically, here the problem with being too vogue ya, terlalu nyampur adukan. Maka vogue itu samar-samar. Ya. I've seen number of business ya. Jadi ada beberapa orang melakukan bisnis be everything to everyone approach. Jadi dia semuanya didatengin ya, baik itu perempuan ya, baik itu udah married belum ya, kids, teenager, and then college college girls, college women, yeah. And these people may sell candles online or cosmetic or similar product, and the business owner will say their target market is simply woman. Jadi si business ownernya bilang, ya targetnya saya cuma wanita. Tapi kan kita harus tahu specifically what kind of consumer that we need to approach. Yeah. So let me explain further. Okay, here. There are plenty of women, who don't care much about candles, and they are content buying the typical drugstore cosmetic or no cosmetic at all. Those women are not your target market. Even a woman who thinks candles are lovely and wears a little makeup now and then, but doesn't readily spends her money on those items, and is not your target market. You need to understand a woman who really wants to buy your product, and she'll buy it over and over again. Ya, makanya di sini kita harus tahu bahwa ya ada banyak sekali women ya atau wanita ya, who don't care much about candles, they are content buying a typical drugstore cosmetic. Ya, ada juga yang tidak peduli dengan makeup. Ya, jadi candle di sini is kind of a makeup, ya, kind of a powder, ya, atau maybe a drugstore cosmetic, or no cosmetic at all. Ada juga wanita yang tidak suka memakai kosmetik. Mereka feel happy the way their natural face are. Ya, mereka udah seneng tampil natural ya. Bahkan mereka hanya menggunakan lip gloss saja udah looks lovely ya, really. And then even a woman who thinks candles are lovely and wears a little makeup now and then but doesn't readily spend her money on those items, it's not your target market ya. Jadi ada juga yang orang pakai makeup ya, tapi tidak terlalu sering, kadang-kadang aja pakai makeup ya. Nah, ini bukan ranah market kita ya. Dan ada juga yang you need to understand the woman who really wants to buy your product and she'll buy it over and over. Kita harus mengerti wanita seperti apa yang suka makeup dan dia pasti akan beli produk itu terus dan terus lagi ya, walaupun harganya mahal ya. Contohnya kayak my wife ya, she likes this lipstick ya, ada lipstick ya, dan ternyata itu lipstiknya berbahaya, ada HBT kalau nggak salah ya, HBT kalau nggak salah sih HBT. let me check ya, let me check mana ini dia. Oh, BHT, sorry, BHT. Ya, ada produk lipstick itu kalau dipakai itu walaupun kena air, it will never nggak akan hilang. Ya. Will stay there for 24 hour. Ya, akan di situ selama 24 jam. Dan kalau udah lebih 24 jam pasti akan hilang sendirinya. Ya. Tapi itu produknya terdapat suatu kimia namanya BHT. Ya, itu sangat berbahaya. Apa berbahayanya BHT? Itu bisa merusak hormon wanita, ya, dan bisa menyebabkan kanker. Ya, kenapa berbahayanya hormon? Ya, bisa saja terlambat haid. Ya, teman-teman bisa haidnya itu tidak teratur, itu karena pakai terlalu banyak kosmetik itu tadi yang ada BHT-nya, ya. And then kanker, ya, banyak sekali penyakit kanker payudara ya sekarang ini di Indonesia sudah mulai. Ya, yang dulu-dulunya itu banyak sekali itu ada di luar negeri, di Amerika, karena banyak sekali wanita pakai lipstick yang mengandung BHT itu, ya. Jadi banyak sekali breast cancer is so many in the US, ya. Okay, and then the next one, image your typical consumer. Ya, kita akan bayangkan consumer kita. What are her wants and desire? What problem does she needs to solve? Okay, and then if you don't already know what, try survey the customer that you already have. Ask them a few questions about themselves, why they have bought the product, what they like about it, and what they don't like. In return, offer them a coupon or a free gift or something, just to get that feedback. This information will be very valuable to you. Ya, jadi image your typical consumer. Ya, ini kita di sini kita menanyakan suatu pertanyaan dan feedback dari mereka mengenai produk kita itu sangat penting, ya. Ya, kita butuhkan adalah feedbacknya mereka, ya. And then next one is think about your product, ya. Kita pikirkan tentang produk kita. Jadi pada hari ini kita hanya membahas tentang bagaimana menjadi copywriter yang bagus, ya. So think about your product. What is the single most important reason your target audience would want to buy? You need to be able to emphasize with your target market, identify their problem, and show how your product solves that problem. If you think too generally about your target market, the passion is lost in your copy, and it's tough to get everyone excited about anything. For example, if you sell acne medication and you simply talk about the embarrassment of acne, you might get some sales. But if you know that your target market for a specific campaign, is teenager, talking about being teased at school, worrying that they won't find a date, and having a case study of a teenager who overcome that, your copywriting will be much more powerful. Nah, jadi kita harus mendeskripsikan, ya, itu tadi masalahnya apa sih, bisa memberikan solution nggak, ya. Jadi ada masalah, kita kasih solusinya. Nah, di sini banyak sekali misalnya jerawat, ya. Kalau jerawat itu banyak sekali yang mengalaminya dan bagaimana sih menghilangkan jerawat. Nah, di sini ya, misal ada obat acne ya, dan kita jelaskan bahwa campaign-nya atau targetnya kita ada teenager ya, dan kadang teenager itu kalau di sekolahan sering sekali diledek tentang jerawatnya banyak, jerawatnya sampai gede-gede gini-gini ya. So this is how you can sell your product to those category. And then here are a few more examples to illustrate how your target market is important and how it can vary from product to product and ad campaign to ad campaign. If you sell more than one product and they're related, example skin cream and eyeshadow, each product that you sell can have a slightly or even very different market. If a skin cream helps reduce wrinkles and eyeshadow is in the sparkling blue color, it's likely the skin cream will appeal to a woman in her 80s who would like to reduce the wrinkles. Yeah. The sparkly blue eyeshadow, yeah, is more likely to be appreciated by youngster, trendier audience. Of course, there are exceptions, and if you sell makeup, you have the opportunity to know your market best, regardless, even within your product line. If you can identify differences in your target market, and your copy, it should reflect this. Okay, jadi ini yang harus kita perhatikan ya, apakah yang kita jual itu adalah misalnya produk sama ya, skincare and then eyeshadow ya. Bahkan kalau skincare itu kan kita yang menghilangkan wrinkle, kerutan wajah ya. Jadi kerutan wajah itu bisa dihilangkan. Okay. And then we have here the next one is also possible that you have more than one very targeted market for an individual product. If that is the case, you can create different promotional material to target those specific audience. For example, if you sell that wrinkle cream and discover that not only are certain types of women buying the cream, but men are interested too. You can create promotional material to target the problems and interests of each groups. That way, when you have different advertising campaign or promotion, you can send people the appropriate marketing material. Okay, you will sell more highly targeted group of people than trying to lukewarm approach with the public in general. Leave general marketing to Amazon.com, Walmart, and other huge companies. Yeah, you will sell more highly targeted group of people than trying to lukewarm approach with the public general. Leave general marketing to. Oke, jadi kita bisa untuk lebih menjual lebih besar ya. Jadi di sini ada ya, misalnya kalau kita membuat produk basically two gender, ya, ada man and ada female and ada male ya, ada man and woman ya. Itu kadang ada juga yang what you call it, metropolis man, metropolitan man ya. Pria yang metropolis ya, metropolis man ya, itu yang gaya-gaya hidup metropolis untuk kaum laki-laki. You can sell this kind of product ya, and then if you want to make it more bigger, you can apply your advertisement to Amazon ya, atau Walmart or other huge company. Note here are the big company that does it right ya. Jadi ini ada contoh-contoh yang company-company besar yang melakukannya dengan benar. We mentioned Amazon.com, and yes, they target a general audience overall with a wide variety of products. But a visit to their website will show you they customize their marketing right down to the individual visiting. They will show you like item based on what you are looking at on their site, and they remember this the next time you visit. Ya, jadi kalau kita ingin masang iklan di Amazon, ya, itu websitenya Amazon tuh sangat-sangat rinci, ya. kerinciannya mereka tuh sangat benar-benar rinci ya. Mereka bisa menanyakan seperti item base ya. They will show you like item based on what you are looking for, you are looking at ya. Kita ingin menjual di uh, ininya apa, gendernya apa ya. Sampai kalau kita apa ini membuat yang lain, mereka pasti ada recordnya ya. Jadi kita udah sell berapa banyak ya, mereka pasti punya recordnya. Dan kalau emang tidak tidak memenuhi syarat mereka ya pasti kita akan diblok ya. And try to offer your complementary item. They are about as specific in their marketing as they can get. Okay, so here we have an exercise ya. Time kita masih 35. Exercise, start writing a list of all the character of your typical customer. Use information gathered from customer survey as mentioned earlier in this section and write at least 15 or 20 specific characteristic. This list will help you as you make your way through this guide. Oke, jadi untuk PR yang pertama, bukan PR ya. Ya kalau ini saya anggap PR ya. 1.1 exercise yang pertama adalah menulis list of specific information survey customer apa yang kita ingin tuju ya. Oke, next one kita have USP. Nah, apa ini USP ya? USP standard for unique selling position. Stands for unique, not standard. Stands for unique selling position. Yeah, unique selling position. And this is what set you apart from your competition. Put away a USB is one unique thing you offer that your competition is not offering. Okay, here are just a few examples of USP. Your USP will likely be very different. You are the only company that offers a unlimited time money back guarantee. Nah, ini adalah unique selling position. Jadi ciri khas kita apa sih? Ya, ciri khas kita itu apa? Misalnya kalau beli ini dikasih apa? Kalau beli double ini dikasih apa? Ya, itu pasti ada. People will see, will look for that. Ya, orang pasti akan mencari sesuatu yang offer them more. Ya. They will see that, definitely. And do you charter to vegetarians when nobody else in your industry does? Do you know the secret to perfectly baked soffles? What do you do that's different? Do you look for hard to find item for your client in 24 hours or less? Okay, USB is a concept that is often difficult for people because every business